Recently on this Scratch to Scratch journey, I started a mini-series where I would play golf every single day until I shot 18 pars in a row on average. And through that, I brought my handicap down to 11.5. But the number one thing causing me to lose strokes is my putting. So today, I'm with my legendary coach Scott Curry to not only continue our progress around reading greens, but we also finally changed my putting stroke since the very beginning of this journey. Not only does he catch one small flaw I didn't even realize I do, but he also hooks me up to this advanced technological tool, Capto, that tells us how much Scott's changes drastically improve my putting. And lastly, before we get into this lesson, I want to continue to bring the most value to all of you, and so I've been hard at work building a new golf app where you will not only be able to get a lot of free features like improved shot tracers and stat tracking, but also gain access to get lessons from the greatest golf coaches in the entire world like I have. So check out the link down below in the description, sign up for the waitlist on caddyai.io. And with that, let's get into this episode.
We're gonna go to this hole, and we're gonna hit this putt right here. Okay?
Yeah.
So I want you go ahead and go through your process initially, and then we're gonna add some things to it.
So it's for sure going right to left.
I like that.
I think it's like a 3.
Okay, you think it's a 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also, so like here this is interesting because like I knew like from here to there going down was like uphill from there, but I feel like I'm on a hill here and it's
downhill.
It's downhill, so downhill right to left.
Okay. So I want you to come right here.
Yeah.
Is this downhill or uphill?
This is uphill.
This is uphill.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I would tell you is let's walk around and find where you're like, so you were definitive on uphill. Are you definitive on downhill right here?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, if we're right between uphill and downhill, what is this probably going to end up being?
Close to straight, if not it's a tad bit uphill.
Flat. Not straight.
Oh, straight, flat, yeah.
Flat, yes. And that's a basic, simple thing. You could get way more complicated into understanding how much uphill that would play, how much downhill that would play.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, because we are struggling a little bit with our uphill downhill,
yeah.
I want you to do that. I want you to find where you're certain there's an uphill putt, find where there's certain a downhill putt, and work your way off both of them to kind of figure out what yours does. How'd that feel?
I think it felt good. It just slightly off the heel.
Yep, agreed. So what's happening, the reason your face angle is not square at impact is because the line on your putter is not matching the line on the ball consistently. And I know we've tried to speed up like our process of getting the putter back so we don't get stuck over the ball.
Yeah.
But we need to remember that the most important part when you get in there is to match those 3 dots on line with the ball.
I feel like the lifting always gets me a bit.
It changes where you're aimed? Is that what you're saying?
It's like it goes here, and then the instant it lifts, it will be away, like get off that line. You know?
Yeah, I agree with that. So
maybe I just not do that.
Well, what I would tell you is right now, so like if you think about like eye line, I would like to see your eyes with your stroke maybe a tiny, like get it slightly closer to the ball.
Like here?
Move your feet closer.
Oh, here?
Just barely. Because now when you lift it up, if you lift the putter up and you're too far from the ball, the first thing that's going to happen is it's going to come towards us, right?
Oh, I see.
So now maybe if you lift it up, it'll feel like it just goes straight.
Oh, yeah, that feels better. I mean, I didn't try to do the speed there, but...
And again, it's because if the shaft plane is low, right? So like, let's say my shaft plane is like this. So see the angle of my shaft plane?
Yep.
Then my putter is going to want to go like this.
Yeah.
The more it gets up here, the more it wants to go straight or back.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying there is a right way for everybody. I think everybody needs to find out what works for them.
Yep.
But for you, because of the fact you lift the putter off the ground, we probably need to get a little closer to it. So when we lift it, it goes straight up, not straight inside.
Yeah, I feel like right now I'm like trying to base my slope on my feet, but I haven't trained my feet on like that precise of a level yet.
Right, and that's why it's important for eyes and feet. It's not, and like this is, I have a lot of students that come to me and they come to me with their feet and they're like, I feel it this, and I'm like, okay, great. Now what do you see it? And they're like, well, I see it this. And I'm like, okay, do they match? They're like, no, I feel it with my feet at 1, but I see it at 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's figure out which one is right. And then let's say some people, their feet are perfect. Well, then what we're doing is we're training their eyes to match their feet. Some people, if their feet are off and their eyes are good, then we're training their feet to match their eyes. We would get a digital level, we'd come right here, you'd stand here, you'd feel it, be like, I feel this a 3. Be like, okay, come back here and take a look. And then you look and you're like, okay, I see this a 3. Okay, cool. Then we would test it. And let's say it's a 4. Then obviously they need to do work with both their eyes and their feet, right?
Yeah.
But most of the time that's not the case. Most of the time one of them works better than the other.
Yep.
And the goal is to combine them, right? Because again, like I don't ever want somebody to just do things one way.
Yeah.
I don't, like to me, you're limiting yourself from an information standpoint. The more that we can do to get an accurate read, the better, right?
Yep.
We've kind of talked a little bit today about the things that we need to continue working on, green reading, make sure we aim, work on our distance control when we first get to the green. Right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a look at your putting stroke from a data standpoint. So I'm gonna put on Capto, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the numbers together, but not in a way that means that they're 100% exactly what we need to be doing.
Okay.
More in a way of just kind of understanding where we're at. And I'd also like to see what would happen if we stop hovering the putter off the ground. So what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna go to this hole and we're gonna do the same thing we did before, but I'm gonna just kind of see what happens. You're gonna use this ball. We're gonna go to this hole. I want you to just kind of take your time, read it, get to the point. I'm gonna look at the data, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna test this one without hovering the putter. So what I want you to do to kind of negate that, and how long have you been hovering it, lifting it off the ground before you take it back? A long time, right?
A few months.
A few months?
Yeah.
So, and you did that because the putter was getting stuck when you took it back?
Yeah.
So most of the time, the cause of that is because of grip pressure.
Okay.
So if your grip pressure gets a little too tight when you first take it back, it could get caught. And the same goes for chipping. So I don't know if that's something that's happened with chipping, but same thing with chipping. A lot of times when you, actually any shot, even like a 6-iron, right? If you're too tense over the ball and you're in there and you go to take it back and there's even the slightest long grass right here,
Yeah.
it could be really easy for it to do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lighten our grip pressure and see what happens to the data, to the numbers, to how the ball rolls, to how your distance control is, to how you line it up, everything. And just kind of see if that changes anything, if everything remains the same, and then we'll kind of go from there.
So this is about 15 feet.
Okay, 15 footer, you got that aim straight?
Yeah.
Okay, which way does it go?
Right to left.
Okay,
Uphill.
1, 2, 3, or 4. So like we talked a little bit earlier, so you feel something with your feet. Let's just hear what you feel first.
Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to feel is how much like pressure is now on the other foot.
Okay.
And the weight of it.
Okay. And how are you quantifying that though? Like,
right now, it's very qualitative.
It's just saying, I feel a little more pressure in one foot.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're gonna have to learn is, what does a little pressure mean?
Yeah.
As far as percent of slope goes.
Yep.
So let's just start here. So you feel a little pressure right here, you said, in your left foot?
Yep.
Agreed?
Yep.
Okay. How about right here? Let's do it in a couple spots. Let's kind of get a feel for it. And you could do it facing the hole. You could also, to get more information, do it facing the ball. And let's hear, do you feel more in a certain area? Is it the same throughout the putt? Let's get some feedback from you. Let's get better at this.
Yeah, it feels more here.
Okay, so more at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And then, yeah, a little less here, I would say.
Okay.
Maybe like a 2.
And now, based on what we've learned, right?
Yeah.
What do your eyes see? If you just come back here real quick.
Yep.
Based on what we've learned, and you've seen what a 2 looks like on these other putts.
Yeah.
Does this look like a 2? Does it look like less than a 2? Does it look like more than a 2?
I feel like the beginning is less, and then right at that end, it kind of hits, I mean, it looks like a 1.5 right now, but it feels like I need to increase it a little bit based off of me under reading, but
Okay. Okay.
yeah, it's kind of like.
But if you just went by what you feel with your feet and with your eyes, you're telling me you think this is a 1.5. Is that correct?
Yeah, so far.
Let's just do that.
Okay.
Because if you just go with saying, oh, it's more,
Yeah.
well then you're kind of cheating what you feel and what you see. So let's first put it on a 1.5. Let's hit it.
Yeah, I guess I'm saying is like what I quantified on this feel in the beginning of this lesson was 1.5, but we determined it was a 2, so
Okay.
I'm tying it to a 2.
Okay, great. Then that's fine. Let's do it too.
Yeah.
I want you to be confident. So the goal is for you to put it somewhere where you're like, okay, I believe this is right. Now what I want you to do is aim the putter. How's it look? You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So aim the putter with the putter on the ground.
And then closer as well?
Yeah, I want you to get comfortable. Let's find out, because the truth of the matter is if the reason that we had to get closer was because you hover, then maybe you can get to where you're comfortable, leave the putter on the ground, but have a super relaxed grip, and let's go ahead and hit it. And we're gonna collect data and we're gonna watch what happens.
Go?
Yep, go. Okay, how would you rate that putt? Like,
I think it was just an overread, maybe.
Okay, so let's look at the data. Anything green would be considered good. How'd you do?
Pretty good.
Pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So I like everything that happened there, right?
Yeah.
This is your face angle at impact. It's kind of getting dark there.
Okay.
Almost 0.
Yeah.
Right? The closer we are to 0, the more likely you're going to learn exactly what you did wrong, because that means you're starting it on your intended line.
And positive is open?
Yep, slightly open. But again, I mean, you're talking 0.2 from how many feet were we?
15.
15 feet, 0.2 open. Remember what we talked about?
Yeah. Well,
like that is extremely good.
Oh, okay. Good.
Very, very good. Like the odds of you getting that to 0 are very, very, very slim.
Gotcha.
And not just you, just in general. Like and the reason is because the longer the stroke length, the harder it is to get back to square, right?
Yeah.
So fair. I would consider that a success. I actually would tell you that based on these numbers, everything was perfect. We missed it because why?
Overread?
Barely.
Yeah.
But this is good though, because your initial reaction was this is a 1.5. You felt it with your feet. You told me that you felt a 1.5. You looked at it with your eyes. You said it was a 1.5. Then you adjusted because of earlier results, right? So this is good, because now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the same hole, but we're going to go over here. And this time what I want you to do is I want you to not base it on anything except for what you see and what you feel. So come up again, do everything you did.
Okay.
Get a feel for it. I like that. How did it feel resting on the ground with the loose grip?
Right now, I mean, it felt a little more...
In control? Did it feel like, tell me.
I think it felt a little more, less force, but a little less control versus like, because I was holding it so tight, you know?
Okay.
So,
what I would tell you though is based on the numbers, it's the opposite.
Yeah. I feel like I need to just get adjusted to it because I just did it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And I have your data collected from your first lesson you took.
Yeah.
And all these numbers are better than that.
Boom! Honestly can't believe I've been lifting my putter without knowing for a year now. But it's even crazier, this subtle change massively improved all my numbers. But you know the biggest thing that helps me with putting is if you go down below and hit that subscribe and like button. Each one of you who do allows me to bring all the greatest golf coaches in the world on the channel to provide exclusive tips and lessons for all of you. So please hit that subscribe and like, and I'll tell the golf gods to magically make your putts go in the next time you're betting with your friends. With that, let's get back to the show.
And all these numbers are better than that. And so again, granted that was one putt. We're not going to sit here. I'd love to be like, you're cured.
Yeah.
But you know, the point is that even though you felt like you didn't have as much control, every single number on here was better than prior. Yeah. Okay, so talk to me.
Left to right, for
Left
sure.
to right? Okay. So here's what I want you to do. More or less than the putt you just had?
This feels way more.
Way more, perfect, good.
Way more, yeah.
Good. So this is how we learned. The last one you felt and saw a 1.5.
Yeah.
Well, now you're feeling and you're saying, okay, this is more.
Yeah.
Okay, good. You just said way more, correct?
Yeah, I would say like 2.5, 3.
Good. So now in your mind, you've created an answer based on a different question.
Yeah. I feel like it's slightly uphill.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking? 2.5 or 3?
I'm gonna go 3.
Okay.
It's like, it was pretty significant.
Let's do it. And remember what we talked about when you have a putt of, you know, say outside of 10 feet that breaks at least a 2 or 2.5. I'm not opposed to you playing a little more so that no matter what, it's breaking towards the hole, right?
Yeah. So this is 15 feet as well.
15 feet, you're playing a little bit uphill and we're playing at a 3.
Yeah.
Okay, putter on the ground, loose grip.
Oh.
Okay. So, what happened?
Over. Too much power.
Hit it too hard?
Yep.
Okay, so let's take a look. Face angle, believe it or not, was slightly closed, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Which would make sense because you over hit it, right?
Yeah.
So think about like on the range, if you're hitting a 9-iron, you pull it, you over release it, the club face would be closed, it would go further.
Yeah.
Similar concept, right? Everything else though, like I'm really not too concerned about it. Your lie angle is something that we will have to pay attention to, and at some point we probably need to get fit for a new putter.
Yeah.
One that actually matches you, right? Instead of you just getting a putter to the putter, you don't choose the putter picks you.
Okay.
Right? Like you have all these little characteristics in your putting stroke.
Yep.
You can't just go to the store and buy a putter because it looks good.
Okay.
We have to get a putter that matches you. And sometimes, believe it or not, it's not what you think.
Gotcha.
Some people are like, oh, you know what? I love blades. I love a Newport style. I love blades. But then it doesn't fit them at all. And they actually have to get a mallet. Now, what makes it work is because they make all their putts.
Gotcha.
Even though they don't love the way it looks initially, the results speak for themselves, and then they love the putter, because we love a putter because we make putts, not because of what it looks like.
Yeah.
Right? Cool. Okay, let's do it again. Let's go. I'm going to give you a slightly harder putt, shorter but harder.
Yeah.
Okay. These are the putts that in my mind are the most important. So for me, from 6 feet to 15 feet is the hands down the most important part of putting.
Gotcha.
Like it's not even debatable, right? Like it's like, well, if you make a bunch of putts from 6 to 15 feet, you're gaining strokes on the field. So first instinct, which way does it go?
First instinct, left to right.
Okay, good.
Slightly uphill.
Okay, agreed.
Yeah.
How far?
It's about 12 feet, 10 feet,
7 feet.
7 feet,
7 feet. 7.5 feet.
7.5 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, 7.5 feet. Sorry. I was like, it's not 12.5. It's 7. It's the other way. Yeah.
So 7.5. You're playing it a little bit uphill. So what are you gonna go? 8.5 footer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say it's like, it feels like 0.5, 1.
Okay, great. Great. Okay, loosen that grip whenever you're ready. Okay. What happened?
Too much backswing.
I would actually say you took the putter too far back and then actually had to slow down.
Yeah.
I would tell you that's what happened.
Yeah.
As far as numbers go though, so that's a little significant, right?
Yeah.
Negative 1.6, right? We need to be a little better about that, but the way to do that is to control length of backstroke, because if you didn't do that, based on your tempo, so let's just go ahead and hit it, just line up the putter. Don't even worry about the line on the ball for a second, because I'm going to collect the data anyway.
Yeah, I think right now I'm too loose to the point where I'm just like.
Okay,
floppy.
I gotcha. So you feel like you lost control in the backswing and it just kind of did one of these.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's find, so I want you to aim the putter right here.
Yeah.
And let's find a point where you're like, okay, this feels good and it feels like I'm not going to get stuck on the backswing.
See, it's like, yeah, I guess. Oh, there it is. I would have to do that, yeah. That's too hard, but.
You're right. It was too hard, but look at what changed.
Yeah. Yeah. That felt more in control of like.
Okay, good. So, and the whole point of this is to learn what's going to work for you, because my grip pressure isn't going to be the same as yours.
Yeah.
Right? And it's based on where your hands sit. It's based on what hand dominates the stroke. It's based on your path. It's based on all sorts of things, right?
Yeah.
So you feel pretty comfortable with what just happened?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I initially, before this, maybe my grip pressure was a 6, 7. And then the one that was like pretty close was like a 2.
Okay.
And that was like a 4.
A 4.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go right here. Let's do it again. This is just trying to get that stroke where it feels good, where we're not hovering.
Yeah. It's about 10 feet. 10 feet?
Yeah, I would say you're hitting it a little more than that. You're hitting about a 12-footer.
Okay. Oh no. So I got stuck there.
You got stuck there. Yeah. So
I needed to be a little.
So why do you think that happened?
I think I just increased it too much.
You got it to like a 6?
5.5.
And again, I'm not saying that you have to rest it on the ground. The point is, we're trying to create something that is super repetitive, right? And if lifting it affects face angle at impact, then we need to get to the point of something that doesn't.
Yeah, I feel like I also get caught when I use a lot of my hands. So maybe
Keep this again, right? If you keep if you keep this angle in your arms,
yeah,
the putter will follow your arms. Okay.
It's too light.
How'd that feel?
That was like a 3. Grip
So,
pressure.
believe it or not, all the data though is awesome.
Yeah.
You actually took the putter back with the big muscles by keeping the angles, but you didn't hit it hard enough, right?
Yeah,
And this is, again, I mean, we always talk about this, but putting is hard.
Yeah.
Because you're doing a million different things to try to get a ball to go in that little tiny hole, right?
Yeah. Can I try big muscles back and forth? I think with a pressure of 4.
Forward?
So because of that one I was like this, and then I kind of got loose.
Okay.
I'll just do this one last time.
How'd that feel?
A little off the heel, but I kind of like the cadence a little more, but it hit the heel.
Yeah, the funny thing though is everything was good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean.
Did it not hit the heel? Oh dang, that was pretty good.
Yeah, so I mean.
That felt like the best. Just, did that say like it was in the center, or?
It was, no, it was barely off the toe.
Off the toe?
Barely.
Oh, I thought I hit it here.
I know.
That's weird. Okay. Let me try to replicate that.
How'd that feel?
Better. I think I closed the face.
You're right. You did.
Yeah.
Good. But I mean, again, yes, you did, but it's still really good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
So yes, it is slightly closed, but
I felt that though. That's good.
let's hit a longer one, since this is kind of something that you've struggled with ever since I met you. So see even farther.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, let's go, because this is where normally when you hover, your face angle is all over the place at this distance.
Okay, that's about 40 feet.
Okay, 40 feet.
Right to left.
Yeah, and just
Uphill. Is that uphill?
I'm gonna just line it up where close to where the reed is.
Yeah. So usually when it's long, I break my wrists though. So maybe I try not to do that here.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Let's try.
how has it been? I think we can agree what you've been doing hasn't been working,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
right? Because you haven't been hitting it in the middle of the putter.
Yeah, exactly.
So now it's like, well, what can I do? I mean, pretty darn good.
Was it off the toe?
It was off the toe, but still, like, look at the numbers. Face angle to impact 1.2. I mean, from that distance.
Is that okay? I mean, that's tapping.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the result, right? Like,
Yeah.
would you take that from 40 feet?
Any day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day, because you're not three putting, right?
Yeah. Let's do another one.
Yep, let's do another long one. This is going to be important. I want you to go to this hole right here, but I want you to actually go through the process of reading it and picking a speed you're going to hit it. Okay. So let's make sure that we don't lose that, right?
Yeah.
I don't like just randomly hitting putts. I like actually having a plan so that we learn.
So this looks like it like dips, like goes down and up.
Agreed.
Left to right.
More up or more down?
More down.
Okay, more down.
Like from here.
Okay.
And then it goes back up there.
Okay, so how many feet?
35.
40
from there, 42 and a half.
42 and a half, you're hitting at 35.
Yeah, maybe like 30.
30. Done. Again, there's no right or wrong answer. We're going to learn, right? Yeah. And this is how you get better. You learn. You're like, okay, I'm going to hit it 30. Well, after we hit this, you're going to say, I did hit it 30.
Yeah.
It went how far, right? Mm-hmm. What are you playing it on?
2.
Okay, 2. 2 left to right?
Left to right, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that ball is rolling very nice. Agreed?
Yeah.
I mean,
it feels so much better.
That was awesome.
How did it?
The face angle was same as the last one.
Open.
It was actually slightly closed.
Closed? Okay.
But minimally. From that distance, again, 1.2, I mean, it's not significant enough. If that was happening from right here, yeah, we have a problem.
So that means like when I'm coming back up, I'm like closing it too fast?
Yes, but that is highly exaggerated.
Yeah, so it's like...
Again, if this was square, look at my putter.
Yeah.
If this was square, that was 1.2 closed.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So be careful not to sit here. And this goes back to what I said before off camera about data.
Yeah.
Data is not always the best precursor of what you're actually doing, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's Data is awesome, but sometimes in putting, data is too much, because what happens is you have these coaches that, there's some coaches now that teach only with data.
Yeah.
Like they're data readers, right?
Yeah.
Like they create a perfect putting stroke that they want you to, not based on what you do, right? They change what you're doing, and it's awesome. I end up working with a lot of these students who come to me, and they have a perfect putting stroke, but they don't make putts. Because you could have the perfect putting stroke and not make putts, right? But guess what? You could have a bad putting stroke and make putts.
Yeah.
This is the funniest part about technology and putting, right? It's like, well, wait a minute. Let's go to this one down here. Okay. So kind of a medium distance. So this is where I would want your face angle to get closer to 0.
Okay.
And so we're going to learn, because again, the shorter that we're hitting a putt, the shorter the length of backstroke, the more likely our face angle should be square.
Yeah, for
right?
sure. I agree.
So, and to finish my point about technology, I love technology. Like I love the ability to have Capto, but the only reason that to me that it works is because we're able to do it out here on the green, right?
Rather than in the closed.
Yeah, what happens is a lot of people don't realize that the data changes on a left to righter or right to lefter or uphill or downhill. And so it kind of goes back to my theory of fitting a putter, right? Which we're going to talk about soon, getting you a new putter.
Yeah.
Well, you should be fit outside. You should be fit on a green where you have to read a putt, and we find out how that putter works for you on a left to righter and a right to lefter. Because if you just hit a straight putt all day, you could hit any putter in the world. You're going to have a great stroke on a straight putt, but the old cliche is every putt is straight. People don't operate that way. As much as we try to get them to, they don't.
Yeah.
I would love for you to. I would love for you to get the point where all you do is just worry about rolling this ball end over end. I would love that.
Yeah.
But the only way that works is if you're an incredible green raider.
Yeah.
Okay. Pace it off.
Okay.
So make sure you look at it, right? Because I want your eyes to see what you saw from down there, right? So like what you're doing is you're training your eyes to see a certain amount of break based on a certain amount of slope.
I think I could actually see it like going in from this angle. Yeah.
So you like the read?
Yeah, I think so.
Perfect. Perfect. How far are you going to hit it?
22.
22. So 5-6 feet downhill?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Oh. Okay. I think, yeah.
Let's hear it.
Maybe it was like a 2.5, but I kind of liked, I mean, it was a little short.
I kind of like everything about it.
Yeah.
Numbers are good.
It looked good.
Everything was good, right? Numbers are good. Yes. Did you underread it? I mean, that's debatable, because if your ball kept going, it might have missed right here, but you saw it curling towards the hole.
Yeah, that was like the line I was seeing, like it was going to go here.
I like it. I actually think the read was awesome. Like and just like we talked about on a longer one that breaks a lot, we would air a little high.
Yeah.
I think that you kind of did that.
Yeah.
And you took into account this slope, which I love, right? Because we already know that once today.
Yeah, I was like, no way. Yeah, I was like, this
is.
So,
again, we talk about learning. This is learning, right?
How did I hit that on face?
Good. Your face angle was 1.1 degree closed.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, and you hit it. Oh, centerness of strike, awesome. Very, very good, actually.
Really?
Yeah, almost dead center.
We're a little low?
A little low toe.
Yeah, okay. When you're saying toes here.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's exaggerating.
Oh,
we're talking the difference of between, if this is dead center,
yeah,
we're talking you hit it right there.
Okay, that's, okay, yeah. Hit it right here.
People, and that's another thing, is like, when you think about strike, have you ever seen Tiger's putter?
No.
The wear pattern on his putter?
It's just instead.
No, it's not.
Oh, it isn't?
It is not.
Oh, okay.
And like, so this is important. Like, we come out here and we think, oh, we're going to be a perfectionist. Like, we've got to be hitting that ball dead center every time. Nah, I wouldn't say that. But what I would say is we would try to hit it in the same spot every time.
Yeah.
Tiger's wear pattern is barely off the toe.
Okay.
But he hits it there every single time. Okay, let's go to this far one. Let's get information. Let's take a look at your face angle again.
Yeah. The stroke of like just the grip pressure, it definitely feels smooth. I mean, I still need I feel like I could control it a lot more after a couple of weeks practicing it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I could get it to closer to like 0.5, either or.
Yeah, I think that one of the takeaways that you're going to have is that the keeping this connected,
Yeah.
right? Keeping the triangle is going to help you personally.
Yeah.
Not to say that everybody needs to do that, because it would depend on path, it would depend on arc, it would depend on hand position, it would depend on all kinds of stuff. But for you, based on what you're trying to accomplish right now,
Yeah.
and where your hands sit, this is a good idea for you. We need to get rid of this,
Yeah. For
right?
sure.
And I think we see that in the data, kind of showing us that, okay, when you do that, your face angle is more square at impact.
Would you say then when I'm going here, kind of like going like this versus like I guess how do I say it, like a rocking motion of just
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. Cool.
What are we looking at?
I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, it looks kind of straight. I feel like it goes down and then kind of flattens out here, but I'm just trying to figure out if it's how much uphill or downhill. But it doesn't seem. Feels like this is downhill from here.
Putting from your ball to the hole?
Yeah. Where's my hole? Oh, it's over there. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, so what would it be from here to there? Would you be putting a little bit uphill or a little downhill?
A little uphill.
Okay, perfect.
this
So
is
that gives you a little more information to say, okay, well,
It's a little downhill.
so how do you feel about that one?
I felt like it was rolling nice, but that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good. And the funny thing is, you got the feedback from the ball.
Yeah.
This just confirmed what you already thought. You saw how well the ball rolled, agreed?
Yeah, and the feeling, I just felt like it was like a good strike.
Yeah, the feeling was good. So this is your sweet spot. That means you hit a dead center.
Okay, it felt like a hit dead center.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And so again, that's where technology comes in. We shouldn't
Yeah.
use technology to tell us what's happening. We should use technology to confirm what we think is happening,
Yeah.
right?
How do you like we're basically deciding right to left with this, but for example here, I was like, it's 32 and a half, but it's downhill, so I'm gonna hit it 25. So like I feel like if I hit it obviously 27, that would have went in. But like how do you assess that difference?
Yeah, so there are some mathematical ways you could do it.
Yeah,
It's highly complicated.
Yep.
At some point we can talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about it today because again, what I don't want is I don't want you to get out there and have this putt right here and you're doing all these math equations in your head, and next thing you know, the guy behind you is screaming at you. You've already been hit by a golf ball once.
That happened. Yeah.
The last thing we need is somebody to hit it at you on purpose, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But in a basic way,
Yeah.
you practice. And
Yeah.
you say, okay, this is 15 feet right here. I'm going to try to hit it 13. And the way that you would know is if you do our ladder drill, where
Yeah.
you know you have a 13-foot stroke, and you like, okay, I did hit that 13 feet, and the ball ends up perfect. You're like, okay, that's what 2 feet downhill would feel like.
Okay.
That's how it would be for now. And that's tough, right?
Yep.
Another way to do it would be this. Let's say that you had that putt. Let's just say you have a putt from right here.
Yeah.
Instead of going back, let's say you had this putt right here. And you line it up and we're like, okay, this is a 2 and that's a 2 and you're 15 feet and you said this plays a little down, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you're like, okay, this 15 feet is playing 12 feet. Well, what you would do is you would come up here and pick a spot. So this is 12 feet, okay?
Yep.
And the line is somewhere right here. I can't see exactly, but I see this old cup right here.
Yep.
And so that's my hole. So then I get back here. My speed is to that spot. I don't care about the hole anymore, right? I only care about that spot. So that spot is my hole. Perfect speed,
Yeah.
right? You have to change from looking at the hole and thinking about the hole to thinking about the speed you're hitting it, because that's how we're creating a constant tempo of the same, right?
Yeah.
If you looked at the hole, if I was right here and I'm like, okay, I got 15 feet and I'm looking at the hole and I'm creating some sort of tempo, well, what's gonna happen is my tempo's gonna change because I'm gonna have to hit it softer
Yep.
than the feel that I'm actually getting by looking at the hole. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And that's important. And so for now, that's kind of how I would tell you to judge speed. I would say, if you had an uphill putt and we were putting here, and you're like, okay, I'm 20 feet, but I'm gonna play this 23, look at a spot 3 feet past it.
Yep.
Think about creating a stroke to go to that spot, right?
Yep.
And the way to do that is just to continue practicing the ladder drill
Yeah.
and getting really good at saying, this is my stroke that goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, whatever. I wouldn't get too crazy beyond like 18 feet because actually for me, I wouldn't even get too crazy beyond like 15 feet because after that, it's pure tempo. I'm not thinking about how far I'm taking the putter back. I'm not thinking about anything.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like, okay, I have a feel, I have a tempo that if I take it, if this is my tempo, well, it's going to go back as far as it needs to go to hit the ball there.
Yeah.
Right? I'm no longer thinking, oh, I need to take this putter back 11 inches to hit it 13 feet. I'm just thinking, okay, I have a tempo that says, okay, if my tempo stays the same as it did from 3 feet, 4 feet, 6 feet, 9 feet, 10 feet,
yeah,
my putter is going to go back the distance it needs to. Kind of like you just did with this one, right? So let's see. Yeah, so what we could do next time is we could sit here and I could literally test you and see how many centimeters you take the putter back for every putt.
Yeah.
Right? We could literally walk it off and be like, hey, when you take the putter back 38 centimeters, your ball goes 24 feet.
Yeah.
That is the true way that you would be. I mean, you'd be a robot though. And it would be, I mean, imagine being out there and be like, I got to take this back 38 centimeters for a 25 footer. I don't love it. I just think it's, I think if your tempo's good and your tempo on all of these was all good.
Was it like 1 to 1.5?
It was actually 1.8 or 1.9 every single one of them.
That was pretty good.
Pretty good, very, very consistent, right?
Yeah.
And so if your tempo is consistent, then you could say, well, on this putt, if my tempo is consistent, my backstroke is going to go back the correct length for the distance I'm hitting it.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I got to take this thing back 19 inches.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't like it. I think it's dangerous, and I think it changes on long putts. I think it changes our objective. I think we get too caught up in this, right? Instead of just being focused on hitting a good putt, reading it correctly, aiming correctly, and learning, right?
Yeah, for sure. Awesome, man.
Well, I expect you to be a lot better after this.
Yep.
Awesome, brother. Good to see you.
Thanks.
Hey, Jerome here. Reflection time. Not sure how many of you actually reached the end, but it's closing in on about 1.5 years on this journey, and it's been such a crazy ride. I wanted to thank every one of you who have been supporting, and just know there are a lot of course vlogs coming your way. I know you guys been asking for it. Quick, comment down below though your favorite moments so far during this entire journey. I'm always interested in hearing what you guys want to say. And, oh yeah, YouTube suggested to recommend this video down below. They said you would love it. Alright, see you there.